Hey guys, this is Zach from Lux Lucis, and today we're going to be doing the exclusive review of the Alcatel One Touch Glory 2. Hey guys, so we've had the Alcatel One Touch Glory 2 for a couple of weeks now, and through our first impressions, it's one of the most affordable entry-level smartphones in the market. And trust me, if you ever thought of getting onto the Android bandwagon, if you're not there yet, this is the most affordable option, and you will not regret the build quality as well. By just looking at it, Alcatel's most affordable handset looks just like any other smartphone out there, and truthfully, well, that's not a bad thing at all. The design might be common, but on the flip side, the phone comes in a multitude of colors. From the moment we've got this phone and put it in our hands, we've really enjoyed the build quality. The weight is really nice. We're talking about 122 grams. When we flip the phone over, we're greeted by a nicely designed back panel, and it's pretty smooth to the touch as well. This phone has a replaceable battery, which I think is one of the most important features in a phone. In case you ever ran out of juice, you can switch the battery out if you have a spare, or you can just replace it entirely, meaning that this phone is going to have a better lifespan. We've pressed all the buttons that we can press on this phone. So it comes with the standard tactile buttons, which is the power button on the top, the volume on the side, on the left. And one thing that Alcatel has done right was they've decided to put the camera button on the right. What we've noticed is that, in smartphones these days, they've taken the camera button off, and this is a really dandy feature. The camera, however, is a 3.2 megapixel camera at the back with a VGA front-facing camera. We've taken a number of pictures, and the 3.2 megapixel camera at the back is, just alright. Now the front-facing VGA camera, on the other hand, is slightly disappointing. And overall for the hardware, this actually feels like a really well-built phone. It doesn't feel like it costs 350 ringgit, and it certainly doesn't feel like it's an entry-level phone, so we really love that. The Glory 2 rocks a 3.5-inch HVGA 320 by 480p screen display. And our experiences so far with the display has been pretty normal, well, considering it is a low-end smartphone. The sharpness while toggling through applications and websites is pretty average, but we realize that it looks slightly better while playing games and watching videos. As far as pixel density is concerned, it is still average at best. The screen's touch sensitivity is another thing, however. It is very decent, but whenever you try to actually touch any part that's close to the outer parts of the screen, the sensitivity is actually much lower there. Hence, typing messages is quite a challenge. Coupled together with the fact that the text messaging's predictive text isn't the smartest in the market, it becomes even more of a challenge. However, as an overall verdict for the screen display, we find that it isn't the most vivid in the market, it isn't the clearest, but it is very functional. Do keep in mind that this is the most affordable entry-level smartphone in the market, so we give it a pretty good score. Much to our surprise, the phone actually packs a 1GHz CPU, 4GB worth of internal memory and 512 RAM, which is pretty decent for its price. End users will get 2.4GB internal data storage and also the option to get a microSD memory card to expand it. Normally, specs speak a little too much for the phone's performance, and at the end of it all, the device performs below par compared to their specs. But this time, it speaks just enough. Well, almost. You see, the device performs slightly better than what you would expect from the processor that has been given. The multitasking is surprisingly smooth, and browsing on the phone is a pretty good experience. Sites load smoothly without any motion delays or whatsoever. Video playbacks, on the other hand, are steady and smooth. But of course, like any other device, it sometimes crashes. Gaming on this phone, however, would depend on how you customize it. If the phone is without customized themes or any heavy applications, then the games will run pretty smoothly. However, we realized that once we started using launchers and downloading more applications, the games ran significantly slower. Overall, the performance of the phone is definitely above what you expect from a very affordable phone, but only slightly. We find that the audio this phone provides could very well be the strongest aspect, excluding the cheap price of course. Now, The audio from this phone is great. It is loud, clear, and quite sharp for its low-end specs. The volume's range is highly satisfactory as it can be really loud, just loud enough, acceptable, and well, you know what I mean. If the audio is not the phone's strongest aspect, then the battery definitely is. The removable lithium 1400 mAh battery is stated to have a standby time of 250 hours and 6 hours of talk time. We find that the battery is almost as good as the developers say it is. On standby, it does last for days. To be exact, 7 days in total or more. At the end of our 7-day standby test period, we actually found that the phone had about 20 to 30% battery remaining. It is really amazing because no other smartphone that I've used or owned so far has been able to last more than 2 or 3 days, to be very honest. To sum it all up, the Alcatel One Touch Glory 2 is an amazing phone. However, if you were looking to get a phone with high-end specifications that can handle hardcore gaming, this will disappoint you slightly. Even the front and back camera is not on par with whatever else is offered in the market today. But don't despair. The good thing about this phone is that if you actually left it on standby for a week, you will still have battery. No other smartphone can do that. And although it only has one speaker, this handles sound quality really well and it is pretty loud. I would still recommend this phone to anyone that's looking to get into the entry-level smartphone industry, especially if you're talking about the Android market. Alright, my name is Zach from Lux Lucis, and we hope that you've enjoyed this review so far. Stay tuned.